They can't see past the angel line. Which is funny.
It's that way, dude. It's unfurled halfway, babe.
The baby?
One of our new babies.
Yeah?
There's like 3, but the one that's the furthest along, he
I'm coming.
has. He's a little guy, but he's got a hole on one side.
Like his dad?
Like his well, his dad doesn't have a hole. He's from this.
Oh, he's from a different one. Oh,
Yeah.
he does have a hole. I wonder
So
if
he's
he's
the
had more
first
holes.
one that has a hole in this generation. Right?
Mm.
So I'm guessing he's only gonna have 1 or 2 on the other side too. But he's great.
Yeah, he's very strong.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's got a brother right here.
Oh, yeah.
And this one's got a brother too.
Yeah, that one's going to have lots of holes. You can see it in the furling.
Yeah, you're right.
That one's very holy.
Oh, he's gonna be.
He's going to be like this one.
Oh, that's just like his. Well, he's not from
Cousin.
that stock
Is
either.
it?
Yeah.
Sorry. They're very nice cousins.
Although, our big boy does have one growing on him who's going to be a monster, I bet.
The original eaten up one?
Yeah, the originating nothing
Oh!
is another one.
You know what we didn't go down and get? Or later, remind me to go after
The
book club
coffee?
to get the coffee, yeah.
I can, if you, I'll try to remember to get it when I come back. Yeah, since I'm doing it anyways.
I can go down also and get it.
Yeah, but I'm going to be down there either way, right?
That's true. Hello, good morning. Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, everybody. Cindy, question. Did you decide what scent you want on your slime? I was going to mail it this morning if you tell me.
By the way, our flower.
How's it doing?
Last one,
Oh, yeah?
bloom.
We were gifted a flower by a neighbor who felt bad for something, and it's pretty.
I like how vague you got it. It's funny.
It's true, though.
It's true.
You want the permanent marker scent? Okay, I'll do that before I pack it up. I'm anxious because I made a decision to not turn it. Wait, what? Not the upstairs one. Even though the the upstairs one not only feels no guilt. They are evil individuals. We have another. There's like a young adult. I think she's probably in her early 20s who lives like around the corner and across the hall. And she had some friends over the week of Halloween who were the night of Halloween, but the days after also, who were looked like college-age boys, and they caused not only a ruckus, but they like we left candy out when we went out for the night. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty bad, and so I think she was just apologizing for that.
But she didn't know until I saw them in the hall, and I
Glared at them.
glared at all of them.
Yeah.
And walked straight into the woods.
Oh, they can't hear. Okay, so what happened was, it was nice of her to apologize for her friends. Is secret boyfriend a doctor? Yes. No.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my.
I'm sorry. Secret boyfriend. Basically what Secret Boyfriend was saying was that on the day of Halloween, we put out candy for the kids and a little sign that says, take whatever you want, yada, yada. But these teenage or young adult boys, hooligans, not only took the candy, but they left the wrappers all over, and they took the bowl, and
the reason we found out
is because they talked about it in front of me.
because Sasha was standing at the door waiting for me to come out, and the guy was like, nope. Like, what did he say? Like, said some shitty thing about us.
So as I was walking out the door, like I was going to take out the trash, and a whole bunch of them were coming down the hall. And as they were coming down the hall, I could hear them saying, well, if you're going to leave out candy one day, you should leave out candy all the days. And then they turned the corner and they saw me and they were like, oh, sorry. And then like ran off. And I was like, yeah, we know it was you.
And I saw them in the hall later, and I walked right into the boys' glare.
Yeah.
I was really pissed off.
And so the girl who they were staying with,
She was with them when I did that. And then
she was not with them when I saw them.
Yeah.
And she apologized for their behavior because they were her guests in our building. And it's not an open building, so it's not like anyone could just come in off the street. They did not return the bowl. No. Wah, wah. They didn't take the bowl? Oh, I thought, no, Catherine's people took the bowl. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Catherine had her bowl stolen. We didn't have our bowl stolen, but there was just a
They just
mess.
made a mess all over the hallway.
Yeah, it was just a mess. I forgot about that. But it wasn't even just like right in front of our house. They made like a mess.
No, all the way down to the elevator.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Do you want to take a sip of this so I can put a little bit more cream in it for you?
Ooh, fancy cup. Nice tasting.
Yeah, you happy with it?
It's amazing. I don't know what you put in our coffee, but it's amazing.
I've been loving our coffee.
I believe it.
Becca, good morning.
You get a shooting star.
Woo! What is everyone doing this morning? Nikki, there's two Nikki's that we have that spell their name the same way, and obviously I can't see your last name on here, but if you're the Nikki, I think you are. I'm sending that stuff for you today. I use a couple of different creamers, actually. I use regular milk and half, and then a variety of different sugar-free creamers depending on my mood.
What flavor you're looking for that day?
Right.
She's in a bad mood. It's the poopy flavor.
Whoa, yeah, poopy. All right. Yummy, I've been trying to figure out how to make a good coffee at home. Yeah, I mean, the Nespresso machine definitely helps. I won't lie. I'm not going to say that, like, just me and the creamers are doing it.
The thing next to it foams the thing.
Yeah, well, it's part of the Nespresso setup.
It's good coffee. It is. You also, you put something else in our coffee, too.
Oh, but that doesn't have any flavor.
Oh.
The collagen is flavorless. It's just to make our nails and hair grow faster. I'm feeding boys lunch so that the baby can go. Yes, that makes sense. Do
My
that.
hair is crazy too. You're right.
It's, you don't even know. This is not the craziness. All right. Whoop. I'm not going to spill today, you guys.
She is not going to spill.
Morning, Alyssa. Alyssa, did your missing package arrive? I know we were looking for 2 from you, and I think 1 arrived and the other didn't, so where are we on that? Morning, Mary. Morning, Cassie. What are we still confused on? Sasha, I thought I dreamed that Anya predicted green eggs today. I have no idea. What? Oh, you got one yesterday? Oh, good, Alyssa. Oh, that's great news. That is literally great news. And I think that Tara got her Hanukkah calendar, which is great. Thrilled to hear it. That finally happened after all of that struggle. Tara, unfortunately, her advent calendar was delivered but stolen off of her porch, which was really awful. So we were just like distraught and obviously working on that. But then finally her advent calendar from the Hanukkah stuff did come in. Oh, wild. Anya found it was Grace's video, so I'm officially not losing my mind. Green eggs and ham.
Does that mean there's some porch pirate going on slimeadventcalendar.com?
I hope not. I hope they don't get to do that. I don't think they deserve it. Anyone who steals someone's advent calendar deserves the slime to be melted all over their existence.
At all.
All right. How was everyone's Sunday? Did everyone have a good Sunday? At the end of one of my guesses, the next would be green eggs. Oh, I must have missed that one because I had no idea what you were talking about. This is just really so much going on here. Got it. I understand now, Allie. I was really confused. Really confused. All right. Did anyone do anything interesting this weekend? Hey, Shira. Good morning. I'm so glad she found it, and now you can feel normal again. Right, Kristen? Isn't that so nice? It really helps. You went to Lights at the Zoo? That's amazing. Christmas baking, amazing. I went to Advisor's house for a holiday party. Nice. I like the snowman there. Normal to be just schoolwork. Yeah. What are you studying, Jen? Do we know, or have I forgotten, or did I not know? Only what? No, that's Grace. Only interesting I did. What did you read? Diet, Cindy? Did you? Diapers are wildly expensive. That is so true. I got diapers for my sister to make the diaper cake for her baby shower, and they were very expensive. I ran about $2 for my mom this weekend because that makes sense. Masters in Management and Leadership. I don't think I knew that. Purple. I've been purple for 4 years. You're very consistent. I don't have your level of consistency, as you can see. Diaper prices are insane. It's wild. I miss Saturday's reading, so I'm going to catch up and be back tomorrow. All right. See you later, Shira. We love you. I don't know what that was. Anyway, we're reading Key Ridge. And let's get into it. I have the urge to change up sometime, but yeah. Target is the best price. Signed triplet mom during the pandemic. I mean, yeah, that's real. My mom got a Costco membership again just for diapers. I don't blame her. Catherine, my sister, also has a Costco membership and she buys diapers there as well. So that is real. The great thing, morning Rosie, the great thing for my sister is that Zoe was like the easiest kid ever to potty train. So she didn't have any issues doing that. And it was like, she slipped right into being a regular potty trained kid. And she only has to deal with one set of diapers at a time, which is great. Use Costco formula. She does that too. Yeah. We're getting Aldi and I'm excited we understand what it's about. Yeah, I've only been in there once and it was to buy the cheese advent calendar and that was not good. So I don't recommend their cheese advent calendar. If anyone's looking for an advent calendar for food stuff, everyone was like, go get the Aldi one last year. And I went and I got it. And I'm here to tell you, not only were half the cheeses not good, there's only like a couple of cheeses and they repeat them a ton of times. And it was really sad, a little bit disappointing. I haven't, I just use it for random recipe. Yeah. No, yeah, I've heard it's really good for groceries. I'm just saying, just don't get their advent calendar. It was a disappointment of an advent calendar. It definitely made me not do any kind of repeating at all in mine. Yes, the annual Aldi cheese calendar rant. It's so bad, Becca. It was so bad. I was really mad about it. You're a Wegmans snob. We don't have that. We go to Ralph's. It's normal. Classic California grocery. You know. Anyway, I know you're here for it, Becca. Oh, that's right, because you're in Canada. All right, so we're going to keep reading Key Ridge. Let's get into it. As usual, if anyone has any questions, let's write them down, right? Because the author is coming to speak with us at the end of the book. We're going to have a whole dedicated live to do with her in the evening one day. So, you know, we'll all vote on when that is and ask her to make it match with her schedule. And she said pretty much any day would be fine. So we'll do that when the time comes. Yeah, it will be fun. So, you know, we already have on the list asking her how to pronounce Giles or Giles or whatever his name is. And then, but if we have any other questions, it should be there, Becca. All right, so let's get into it. After 2 more sips of coffee. Becca, you're not allowed to be out or done. I'm sorry. I have really bad news for you, Becca. You are stuck. A lot of people have choices in life. You're not one of them. Sucks to suck. Oh well. There are people who are like, do I want to be a part of Sasha's book club? Maybe, maybe not. And Becca is chained in the basement. Oh well, must be really hard for you. I stared at a blank screen as Mike furiously checked his watch for the 100th time. What is with the lack of respect these candidates have? I can't believe that we have another no-show. I closed my laptop and gave him a defeated shrug. He sighed. I think we have to call it. We can't, I panicked.
Maddie, what other choice do we have? It's Friday, and we promised that we'd have someone there late next week to start the trial. We have no options other than to let Bev know that we can't fulfill our commitment to her. I'm pretty sure that nasty nephew of hers would be pleased. I bristled at the memory of Giles. Letting him feel like he won made me feel even more like a failure. We've never had to back out like this before, I whispered. Mike's face softened. I hope you know that none of this is your fault. It's hard to branch out into new markets. Yeah, of course, I replied as he got up to leave the room. He gave me an encouraging thumbs up, and I nodded, trying to smile, but it didn't reach my eyes. Despite Mike telling me this wasn't on me, I couldn't help but feel like a complete failure. Why was nothing in my life working out for me right now? I thought I had it all together. Clearly, I was falling apart. Make sure you girls tidy up the room before everyone gets here, Mom called through the crack in the sliding door. Frankie and I looked at each other and rolled our eyes before returning to sipping our wine. We'd been sitting around the fire table on the patio, catching up while our parents scampered around the kitchen, getting things ready for the neighborhood party that they were hosting. I swear, she still thinks we're teenagers. Frankie lifted her legs and held them against her torso. I snorted. I can't believe she's still making me clean my room. Yeah, at least you're getting free rent. That's funny, Becca. I wish we had a basement. That would be really convenient for keeping boxes in. Maybe we should look into a basement. Amen to that. We clinked our glasses and laughed. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and get more wine, she said, getting up. Don't worry, I'll throw our clothes under the bed while I'm in there. Bless you. Once she was gone, I stared at the flickering fire, trying not to let any negative thoughts break down my mental barrier. This week at work was a tough one. It was hard not to feel like a loser lately. I glanced at the door to make sure that Frankie wasn't close to returning and quickly pulled out my phone to re-download the social media app she had deleted. I knew it was unhealthy to want to see what Garrett and my ex-friends were up to, but I couldn't help it. I was a masochist. Pictures filled my screen and I started scrolling, desperate for updates. My heart stopped and my finger froze as I came across Nadine's post. My wine glass almost slipped from my other hand as I sat there in shock. Filling up my screen was an image of Nadine's left hand. Her ring finger was adorned with a beautiful oval-shaped solitaire diamond set in a thin gold band, the kind of ring I had always dreamed of having. Panicking, I scrolled to her caption. This could not be real. That's funny, Becca. Oh, Becca, you can't say those things in these moments. This is the caption. It's separated, so you can see that it's the caption. This may come as a shock to many that I'm not close to, but I'm engaged. We've been keeping our relationship private, but now I'm ready to scream it from the rooftops. I love this man, and I'm so excited to spend our lives together. I flipped to the next picture she had posted. It was one with her and Garrett dressed in cocktail attire, posing with her hand outstretched to show off the ring. My mouth hung open in shock. How could this be happening? We broke up 3 weeks ago. Wait. What? Okay, that tracks. The slider door opened and I scrambled to turn off my phone before Frankie caught me. My haphazard mannerisms warranted a strange look from her. You good, Maddie? Thought you were gonna say bodies in the basement. That's hilarious. I grinned like a murderer who had just stashed the body underneath a blanket. Of course! My voice was unusually high-pitched and I cleared my throat to try to cover it up. You're acting a little squirrely. I just almost dropped my phone is all, she eyed me. You better not be texting anyone you're not supposed to be or looking at any pictures you're not supposed to. No, of course not. My smile was frozen on my face and I made a conscious effort to blink so I wouldn't look psychotic. Do you have something in your eye? I stopped blinking. Let me see if Mom and Dad need help with anything. I sprang up out of my chair, desperate to move my body. If I sat under my sister's stare for another second longer, she would know she was seeing through my weak facade. 2 things for Sasha shoved in the mailbox. What's shoved in the mailbox? 2 things for Sasha shoved in the mailbox. Oh, from Sasha. That makes more sense. Yes. Correct. Probably one is the ghosts. So you're the one visiting from Atlanta. How exciting. I love it there. Isn't it just such a fun city? Kathy, one of my parents' neighbors, had cornered me while I was making a fresh drink. People shown up over an hour ago and their house had turned into a 55-plus version of a college frat party. No, that's my sister Frankie. I'm Maddie. I lived just a few towns over. Kathy's face immediately fell. I knew my mother must have given her the scoop on my pathetic life. Oh, Maddie. Sweetie, your mother said you were staying with them. I'm so sorry about what happened. Men are scum, after all. I'm on husband number 3, and let me tell you, it doesn't get any better. Great. My lips hurt from keeping them upturned as I dumped a shot of whiskey into the plastic tumbler my dad had given me. I normally didn't mix liquors, but tonight it felt like a great idea to sample everything. Darlene, come on over here and meet Maddie. A woman with fire engine red hair wearing a bejeweled sweatshirt joined Kathy's barricade. Oh no, aren't you just stunning? I already met your sister and I cannot believe how gorgeous you two are. Thanks, I laughed out of discomfort. Darlene, Maddie is the one that Mary told us about, the one staying with them for a while. Oh my goodness, of course, Mary, terrible what happened to you, and with your best friend too. You know, I got cheated on once before I met my Stuart. Kathy nodded sympathetically. The world of dating is just horrendous. I've heard it's gotten even worse now with online dating. You can't pay most men to commit. They continued to carry on about the horrors of modern-day dating while I sloshed my drink back and chugged most of it in one giant gulp. Tonight was not the night to watch my intake. And now they're living together in the apartment we lived together in. Can you believe that? Kathy, Darlene, and I were sitting on folding chairs in the driveway. I'd lost count of what cocktail we were on hours ago. Unbelievable, Kathy replied. They are going straight to hell, Darlene slurred. Kathy and I cackled. Come here, I leaned into my newly captivated audience. You want to know the worst part? Their eyes got wide as they waited for me to continue. They're, I paused to hiccup, engaged. They gasped in unison. What a little punk! Kathy spilled a little of her drink while attempting to take another sip. Oopsie. He can't do that after making you wait around all those years, exclaimed Darlene. I know, I nodded aggressively. The sudden movement of my head made me slightly nauseous. You know what you should do? Kathy grabbed my arm. I looked at her, eagerly anticipating her advice. What? Call him. You need to tell him off. You know what? You're right. I burst out of my chair and immediately clutched the back of it for support as my vision doubled. Are you okay? Frankie was at my side then, looking concerned. I'm fine, I slurred. She raised her eyebrow and crossed her arms. You're drunk. So we're at a party at our parents' house with a bunch of retirees and you're wasted. What are you doing? It's not my fault. I pointed to Kathy and Darlene, who were suddenly conveniently deep in conversation. They were feeding me drinks. Frankie rolled her eyes. Don't blame Mom's friends. Well, whatever. The damage is done. I'm gonna go pee. When you're done, just go drink some water and lie down. I saluted her and pushed past the rest of the party attendees to get inside. A few people were in the kitchen, but they paid me no mind as I slipped into the guest bedroom. With my inhibitions thoroughly shattered, I pulled out my phone and dialed Garrett's number. He picked up almost immediately. Maddie? My breath caught at the sound of his voice. Maddie, are you there? The rage I was feeling minutes ago dissolved into a puddle. How could you do this to me? I whimpered. I'm sorry. He let out a slow breath. I should have been honest with you a lot sooner, but we had been together for so long. I just didn't want to hurt you. Yeah, great job with that. Just so you know, I was always suspicious, I lied. Are you drunk? He asked. Does it matter? I'd rather speak when you're sober. I'd rather not learn about your engagement through social media, but here we are. There was a long pause on the other end of the line and tears welled up in my eyes. Maddie, how could you? That should have been us. The tears were now freely falling down my cheeks. All I can say is I'm sorry. Please, Garrett, just tell me why. You owe me at least that much. There was a moment of silence before I heard him sigh on the other end. She's pregnant, he whispered. A sob escaped my lips before I clasped my hand over my mouth. It's early. We haven't told anyone yet. I didn't want you to find out this way. I didn't even bother responding as I let the phone fall to the bed. Pregnant? My mind went completely blank. Through my tears, I ripped out of the bedroom and back into the living room. I was about to be hysterical. I couldn't be here around all these people, throwing open the front door. I walked to the end of the driveway, ignoring glances of everyone around me. Maddie, what's wrong? I ignored my mother and continued to walk until I was on the street. Golf carts were lined up in a neat row and I stumbled into the first one. My mother told me that everyone left their keys in the ignition. There was no crime to worry about here. Sure enough, a keychain with fuzzy dice was dangling by the wheel, tempting me. I turned the keys without a second thought. Frankie and my mother were running down the street, waving their arms. "Maddie, what are you doing?" one of them shouted as I pulled the cart away from the curb and slammed on the gas. Pregnant? The word kept running through my mind. I started gasping for breath as my sobs became more and more frenzied. The tears blurred my vision as I whipped the cart onto the first turn out of the neighborhood. I needed to get out of here. I threw the cart around the next blind turn only to be met with another driver looking shocked to find me in their lane. I screamed and whipped the wheel into the other direction. With the speed at which I was going and the force at which I turned, the cart started to tilt towards the passenger's side. I tried to correct the wheel back, but failed. The cart tipped sideways as if in slow motion before I felt myself flying out of it and crashing onto the asphalt below. I did not see this coming. "What the hell were you thinking?" my dad roared. I was sitting on a medical exam table waiting for the doctor to come and stitch up the large gash in my forehead. "Stuart's cart is completely wrecked. Do you know how much money that's going to cost to fix? Do you know how embarrassed we are?" "Ron, don't yell. Everyone will hear you." "I don't care," he barked. "Our daughter drove drunk on one of our friend's golf carts and crashed it. I'll yell if I want to. You're lucky that no one called the cops and that they aren't pressing charges." Honestly, her dad's right. My head was pounding from both the alcohol and the injury. I closed my eyes and willed my parents to disappear. My mom got up and put a hand on my dad's arm. "Why don't you wait outside until you can calm down?" "Yelling isn't helping anything. I'll talk to Maddie." Becca, I don't know what that was. I just got half of a text message from you clearly because I saw that there were two things and I only saw the second half, and that was hilarious. He threw his hands up in exasperation and stormed out of the exam room. A hand squeezed my knee and I looked up to see my mother's concerned eyes. "What happened?" she said in a comforting tone that I didn't deserve. Her soft words caused me to break down all over again. "Mommy," I sobbed through tears. She pulled me into her arms and hugged me tightly. "They're engaged," I choked out, unable to admit the rest of it. She held on tighter, not needing more clarification than those two words. "Oh, it's going to be okay, sweetie. You're stronger than this." She held me while I cried until our doctor finally came in to stitch me up. Wincing, I dabbed my forehead with a washcloth. I had to get 5 stitches last night, and the doctor instructed me to keep the area clean and dry. They can't press charges. It doesn't fit the genre. That's fairly true. Although, there is a minor jail scene in my book. I won't tell you more than that, but there is a scene that involves jail in mine. I hardly recognized the reflection that stared back at me in the bathroom mirror. Aside from my scarred forehead, I had an angry patch on my chin where the skin had met the ground. My eyes were also swollen and puffy due to the hours up of relentless crying. It was almost noon when I emerged into the kitchen, desperate for caffeine to wake me from my coma-like trance. "Nice of you to join us," my father grumbled as soon as I stepped into the main room. My entire family was sitting at the dining table looking rather sullen. "Is this an intervention?" I asked jokingly before sitting down to join them. My mother reached across the table and grabbed my hand. Oh boy, I was in for it. "Matilda, sweetheart." This wasn't good. She hardly ever called me by my full name. "You know we love you and we want nothing but the best for you." She trailed off and looked to my sister for support. Frankie sighed and looked at me. "It's time to move out. You need to get back on your feet." I groaned. "Is this about the crash? I know I effed up, but I'll pay for it. In case you don't remember, I had to deal with some very difficult news yesterday." Of course, they didn't know about the most difficult news that I had heard last night. My father's face was red, but he continued to sit there stewing while my mother and Frankie handled the conversation. I also love the name Matilda. "I know it was a tough pill to swallow, sweetie. Trust me, I would love nothing more than to wring his neck for you, but the reality is they've moved on, and us babying you, letting you stay here, it isn't helping anymore. It's been almost a month, and it's time for you to start figuring out what's next. I haven't seen you so much as look at an apartment ad since you've been here." "I've had a lot on my mind," I mumbled. "Maddie, you need to do this," Frankie continued. "How would you feel if Nadine and Garrett could see how you reacted last night? Moving on is the best revenge. Trust me." I glared at Frankie, irritated that she wasn't on my side. "Well, excuse me for having a few issues right now. My life was completely upended just a few weeks ago." I turned my attention back to my mother. You were the one encouraging me to wallow, remember? Yes, but you haven't been wallowing. You've been pretending that everything is fine until you finally blew up yesterday. She shook her head. Look, Maddie, we're not saying that you need to be okay just like that. We're just saying that you need to start making an effort. It wouldn't kill you to try something new. My dad finally spoke. You lived with within the same 20-mile radius your entire life. You've had the same boyfriend and friends for nearly a decade. Maybe it's good that you're being forced into a little bit of change. My mouth hung open. Are you implying that it was good that my boyfriend cheated on me with my best friend? He shrugged. Well, if it gets you to expand your horizons a little. Dad! I exclaimed. He held up his hands and my mom quickly stepped in. No one is saying that. We're just saying that maybe you, Miss Optimistic, can turn an awful situation into an opportunity. They all eagerly nodded in agreement with my mom's words. I crossed my arms. An opportunity? What opportunity could I possibly make of this? My whole life sucked. Even work was going terribly right now. I have to call Bev on Monday and tell her that we failed to find a property manager. How humiliating. All of my buzzing thoughts started to settle on an idea as it began to form. Maybe I could solve my work problem and find some new opportunities at the same time. Maybe she could. Maybe she could. All right. That is today's. I am going to pack up a bunch of orders because they need to go with Secret Boyfriend when he has an appointment today, and so they have to get done early this morning because he's taking the car. So I gotta go do that. Pack up stuff for a bunch of people. What else was I gonna say? If you are on here and you are on Patreon and you are one of the people who is not at the Sparkle Pop level but wanted to know, yes, Becca, probably around that time to make Clearbase. This book is called Key Ridge, Leanne. It's called Key Ridge. Yes, he is. That is correct, Sydney. He is going to, that's actually correct. But there were a lot of people who are not at the Sparkle Pop level who asked if they could buy the Slime of the Month without being at that level. And I will have a few extra. I did end up making extra for those people. So if you were one of those people, look out for an announcement on Patreon later today so that you can have that. And if you are one of those people and you also are planning to get something from this week's restock, I can hold it and ship them together so you don't have to pay double shipping. So I can put one aside for you and say, yeah, like Jen, for example, I don't know if you only want that or if you like also wanted Hamilton or something like that, we can ship everything together. So it's not like whatever. Also, just an aside about this weekend's restock, there will be one method of shipping that will guarantee delivery before Christmas Eve, and I'm just going based on the numbers that the post office sent up like a big list of things like, if you send this type of mail by this day, this is guaranteed, blah 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 blah. And there's only one thing left that, like, if I mail the orders Friday or Saturday, which I'm going to do, that they will arrive. So I'm gonna have like different shipping options, and as usual, one will say like no date guaranteed, and if you choose that one, like, it might not arrive until after Christmas. And if you don't care, if you're not getting it for Christmas, then like whatever, choose the cheaper shipping, you know. But that's just post office rules, not Sasha rules. Yeah, well, seriously, Kristen. But if they don't, see, this is the thing. If we choose those methods and they don't deliver it on time, they have to pay us back. If we don't choose those methods and they don't deliver it in time, we're SOL. You know what I mean? So that's our only recourse. And if anyone is wondering, no, I do not have a cut, and no, I am not contaminating any slimes. I have a broken nail and I'm just trying to hold it together with this Band-Aid. So I don't have any cuts. I'm not injured. It's like an almost broken nail, and I was like, maybe I could hold it together just a little longer. People always ask what the Band-Aids are. Is there any way to make a big bold message at checkout? Yes, I'm gonna do that. I'm also gonna have a pop-up. Yes, I totally agree, Grace. I think the great thing is most of the people who will be ordering will probably be from Patreon. Over the last week, we've had a lot of new early access people on Patreon, which probably means those are people just coming in just to participate in the restock, which is totally fine. That's why that level is there. You know, if someone only wants to get slimes from the restock and doesn't care about anything else, they can just join early access and whatever. Oh, okay, great. That's perfect, Allie. That like is so much cheaper. You know, any US shipping is always going to be cheaper than sending it to Canada, which is what it is. So yeah, but I will also have a pop-up and a whole thing that says like, by clicking here, you realize that XYZ. So that's good. I'm going to be doing listings later today. As you all know, Monday is my email day, so I'll be going through all emails and messages today, and then also starting to list stuff and whatnot. You know, that's the whole kit and caboodle. It's a pretty good restock. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty good one. There's like something for everyone. Are there any more Roll for Slime dates before the restock? Tomorrow. Definitely tomorrow, Grace. Tuesday always. I'll put up the sign up list today. Oh, that's exciting, Allie. Yay. Yeah, I'll definitely be able to do yours tomorrow, Grace. So that's good. And what else? Any other questions before I skedaddle? Anyone else need me to stick anything in the mail today before Secret Boyfriend goes to the post office? Now would be the time. If anyone needs anything for their elves, now's the time to ask. That's amazing, Grace. That's amazing. I got my slime on Saturday and it smelled like... Really? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that those jars are airtight. Ew. Just on the package though, right, Amanda? Nothing on the inside? Ugh. What the heck? I'm glad the slimes were okay. The good thing is those slime jars, like you can literally wash the outside of them and it won't touch the slime. Yes, definitely, Becca. Yes, Rosie, definitely an option. You said something about dice charms. Yep. Cindy, will you message me like right now to remind me so that, because I'm going to go pack yours up right after I eat breakfast. Just the package. It was gross. I thought I was going to die. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad it was just the package and not anything else. They're little tiny dice charms, Cindy. They're like little tiny dice like this. Beep, boop, beep. That's true. I do double package. That's true. Are there any other thick and glossy slimes besides Grinch Goop? Yes. I put up a video yesterday. Cookie Milk is thick and glossy, and Grinch Goop is thick and glossy, and Hamilton's base is thick and glossy. Moana loved Hamilton and keep stealing mine. Not a problem, Rosie. I know where you live. That sounds really creepy. Let's pretend I didn't say it like that. Let's just pretend that I said it lovingly. I did say it lovingly. It is a pretty good thick and glossy base. Becca, I'm guessing, because I just played with Hamilton here yesterday, I'm guessing that yours is probably from the cold. Becca, I would put it like near a heater for a little while. Message sent, also remind you of Centra's perfection. Yeah, that would have been a better way to say it instead of I know where you live. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I get that. Yeah. You hold the high spot for thick and glossy on my slime charts. Yes. Amanda, wait until you feel the new one. Oh my God. Like, I gotta tell you guys, I am pretty solidly content with the new recipe. I used the new recipe for both Grinch Goop and, it is Nikki. Both Grinch Goop and Cookie Milk are the same new recipe. And what I like about them is, that's amazing, Cindy. They're very, very stretchy, but also very sustainable, like in that they don't melt very easily. The Grinch Goop one is on its way. So the one in the advent calendar is pretty close to the new recipe, but I perfected it slightly more in the big batch, so very close. What you're feeling in the advent calendar on day 4 is very close to what is current. So if you like that one, then you'll probably like this. It's a little bit stretchier now, but still has, like if you watch the video I posted yesterday, if anyone didn't see it, I posted a video yesterday of the sugar slime flight, which is the sampler pack for like the easier, softer textures. And the way that you can tell if something's a thick and glossy is if you can press your thumb into it and it will hold the thumbprint for a little while. Because like a regular butter base, for example, you press your thumb into it and it just goes bloop, 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 which is fine because that's what it's meant to do. There's nothing wrong with the fact that happens. It's just not a thick and glossy. But if you can press your thumb into it and it will hold the space, that's how you know something is a little bit thicker, right? And so me showing Cookie Milk in that video, I press into it and I just hold the slime there for a second so you can see that it holds the thumbprint, and that's how you know it's a thick and glossy, but it still stretches and moves like a butter base, which is what I wanted, because a lot of us are overusing them. And again, I don't say this as a negative. I think it's great that we're all finding good ways to use them, but by us overusing them, they were dying faster because of how thick they were, and so I adjusted it to last a little longer against heavy use. And I know it works because I've been like purposely trying to overuse mine to see if I could get it to die, and I can't. So far I haven't been able to kill Cookie Milk, my own. And I've had it for 2 or 3 weeks, and I've been playing with it pretty consistently. And it's neither gotten goopy nor dry. So I think that's a good sign. And then I made a new batch. Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Hey, oh my gosh, 2 Nickies are in here this morning. Good morning. Curious about what your definition of a dead slime is. I actually have a video where I posted an example of that, Jory, at least for butter. My definition of a dead slime is basically, I can show you guys later. If someone reminds me, I can post another video showing some examples. I have 3 dead slimes right now that I've been saving for videos. Very existential. But basically, when they don't really have the right consistency anymore, yeah, it's good, and it doesn't die very quickly. It's like, you're totally welcome, Rosie. I will not say that out loud. Basically, so like for a butter, for me, when it stops being spreadable and stretchy and it's just like a little bit dry and hard, that's kind of dead. Oh no, you have COVID? Oh no, that sucks. And then for like, you know, I gotta tell you, I killed a jelly recently and I like the dead texture better. It's like very thick and kind of gummy. It's almost like you know, those really large gummy candies. It feels like that and I love it. But it definitely isn't correct for like a regular jelly texture anymore, so I know it's dead. Yeah, definitely. There's a series on like reviving and stuff like that. Your pick a color's dead. Yeah, clouds, the great thing about clouds is they're pretty easy to revive with water or lotion. So that's a good sign. Anyway, I'm gonna go so that I can pack all these things up for y'all, and I will see you all later. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. And anyone who's expecting a DM or an email from me, you know that on Monday nights I go crazy on those. So like everyone will get messages today. And if anyone has any restock questions, there's a lot of restock videos up that you can comment on with your questions, and I can answer with a video so everyone gets the benefit of the answer. I think that's one of the great things about this is like, rather than me just answering one person privately, because most of the time multiple people have the same question. So that's good. And there's a lot of slime flakes this time, you guys. So it's gonna be good. I hope everyone who wants one gets one. Woohoo!